Because they're always on the internet, they have friends in Colombia, in the US, everywhere around the world. Your network is limited to Dumaguete. Their network has expanded overseas. This is a generation, by the way, who what we call or categorize as screen agers. Hello? You know what a screen ager is? Somebody who's always looking at the screen perpetually, every single day. This is a generation, friends, wherein gender is no longer determined by birth. It is now determined by how they feel on a certain day. Alright? This is a generation wherein they're not sleeping very well. I'll tell you why. Ask me why. Because many teachers today in high school and in college levels are giving their students excessive homeworks that they go up till 12 and 2 in the morning just to be able to make the grade. When later on they realize it's not necessarily relevant in their lives in the future.
Yes, true.
Thank God Kainos doesn't do that to your sons and daughters. Oh my God. Ma'am, you are assured of additional dessert and coffee tonight on the house. This is the generation wherein they don't necessarily have to have sex, but they can have something called self-sex. Because fathers today, in our generation, would look at porn as a magazine, but today you can see it on the World Wide Web. And it's very dangerous, parents, if you leave your sons and daughters with Wi-Fi access, unlimited, locked in their rooms. They will pretend to sleep, but the truth is, they're surfing. And the surfing never ever ends. This is a very, very difficult generation. The problems that we have in this world today is far more different than the problems that we had in our generation in our time. Are you following?
Yes.
So the question is, what are we going to do about this? And by the way, depression is at an all-time high for this generation. And I'll tell you more in a short while. So what must we do? Parents, may I suggest we need to have what we call a white belt mentality. Everybody say white belt.
White belt.
What's white belt? What's white belt? Okay, what's black belt? Expert. What else? Highest level. Yes, thank you. What else?
Master.
What's that?
Master.
What's black belt? Huh? Master. Thank you. All right. So what is white belt? Baliktad. What's white belt? Beginner. Amateur. Novice. Thank you. Neophyte. All right. What am I trying to suggest and propose to all of you tonight? I am saying we should all be white belt. Ang problema magud nato as parents is this: we think we know it all. We parent our sons and daughters based on the pattern and the style of our parents before us. And we realize that sometimes the styles that they had before will not necessarily work today. We need to learn to unlearn, relearn, and learn new things and to be open-minded. Are you with me?
Yes.
Can I introduce you? Do you guys happen to know my ninong by any chance? Henry C? Do you know Henry C by any chance? He just happens to own SM, you know. I'm just kidding, all right? Henry C was actually successful as a tycoon for malls, correct? And so he decided that he wanted to diversify. So to do that, he discovered that banking is a very, very huge industry where he can participate. Now he's a billionaire, but he got advice from other people around him who are of a lesser income status than him. I want to ask you, parents, if you're already a billionaire, would you still listen, or would you listen to the advice of people who earn lower than you? Many times you probably won't. Why? Because you've earned your success already. True? Henry C decided to listen. And so he discovered, okay, the advisors were saying, why not put BDO in every single mall that you have?
Yes.
Why not extend the hours from 3 to 5? Why not bank 6 days a week instead of 5 days a week? That's exactly what he did. And so actually BDO overtook Metrobank. Why? Because they found ways.
Yes.
And here's also what he discovered. Gamay na day kahit mamalit sa SM. Kaya nga no, mamalit lang sila kung naa sila'y sahod. They only go to SM, magpa-aircon sila. Just like some of us, people from Dumaguete, magpa-aircon at the Robinsons, correct? So here's what he discovered. There's another competitor out there, and it's called online sales. So here's what he did. He listened to the advice of people, and he ended up acquiring something called Lazada. So now he has the foot traffic of the mall, and he also has the online traffic online. So that gives him the best of both worlds. But that would not have happened unless he was white belt. The point, as parents, do not think that you're an expert. Why? Pride leads to a fall. Humility comes first before honor. We need to be open-minded. Love this crowd. Very supportive, super energetic. Please look at the person beside you. Tell the person beside you, be white belt. All right? Can we continue? All right? So what are the struggles that young people today are going through? Number one, stress. Everybody say stress.
Stress.
Some of you mothers are saying, stress? Do you know what stress is? Some of you will talk to your children, you're stressed? How dare you say that you're stressed? You're bored? Oh my goodness. You know what the mom says? How can you say you're stressed when I run the house? I take care of your father. I pick you up from school. Ako pang grocery. You do that, right? Come on, moms, right? Don't lie to me, right? What you don't know is this. Mommy, I'm stressed. Why? Because every single day, your sons and daughter report to 5, 6, or 7 bosses. Teachers with different personalities and different styles and different requirements. Hey, if you were an employee and you had 7 bosses, that's a 7-headed monster, isn't it? True? Yes. Projects, right? Exams almost every single day. So they've got to study. Imagine, a boy wakes up at 5:30 in the morning just to be able to go to school. And you say, wake up, wake up! Did you know that education is so expensive? Kamahal sa imong tuition in town, we do that, right? So, okay, that. So they get to school at 7 in the morning, they're so tired, they finish school at 4, they go to tutor for 2 hours, by the time they get home, they're so exhausted, tululaway, and then what do you do as a parent? Mata, assignment, tutor. So they're stressed. So they watch TV for a while. No TV on weekday. So what you're doing, you're stressing the kid out. They're not getting enough sleep. They're not thinking straight. And they're doing this for 14, 16 years of their life. K-12? Are you with me?
Yes.
They're stressed. Very stressed. And that's the reason why they turn to number 2. They turn to social media and technology. Why? Because they need to beat cortisol, which is the hormone caused by stress. Cortisol comes into your body and it should leave. Why? The more stressed you are, the more prone you are to sicknesses and diseases. Now look at the person beside you. Kaya mo katapad ba? Stress ba na siya? Huh? Mommy, are you stressed? I'll tell you, what is the number one stressor of husbands? Their wives. It's the other way? My goodness. Oh my goodness, so I thought we were honoring husbands tonight. I know first. We want you to eat first. So they turn to social media. Why? Because they need a shot of dopamine. What's dopamine? It's a chemical that your body produces when you're in high levels of stress to make you feel good. It's the same feeling that you get when you check something on your checklist. It's the same feeling you get when somebody likes your post. It's the same feeling you get when you're winning a game. It's the same feeling you get when you win in a certain competition like sabong or something like that, right? The problem with dopamine is that it's addicting. Why? Because it's the same chemical that addicted people have. People who are doing this all the time, casino, gamblers, people who smoke all the time, right? People who look at the internet all the time. So dopamine is highly addictive. Here's the problem. Listen carefully. Everybody lean forward, please. Lean forward. Come on, lean forward. Di lagi mo biskat sa mulaway. We have restrictions. for smoking and for driving, correct?
Yes.
18 years old minimum. But there are no restrictions for social media.
Yes.
Which means to say, your 12-year-old could start a Facebook account without your approval. And an Instagram account by faking their age. And by the way, they put you on Facebook so that they can see you and you can see their activities. But the truth is, they can block you. And the truth is, they do not want you involved in their Instagram. Why? Because that's where other secrets are being seen. Hello? Are you with me? They follow people like this. Who is this guy? OMG. I have no idea who this guy is. He's Pew Dai Dai. I don't even know how to pronounce it. But this guy, ladies and gentlemen, has 93 million subscribers. That's like a country in itself. All right? Why do they follow people like this? Because they're confused. Because they want an influencer. And that's the reason why if daddy and mommy are not together all the time, they will be influenced by culture. They actually think the more followers you have, the more you should follow that person because of popularity. But we all know, sometimes when you follow people, you'll realize that they don't actually represent the right values meant for your life. Exactly?
Yes.
Right? They also follow people like this. Who is this guy? James Charles. James Charles is actually a boy who is teaching makeup right now. And he makes a whole lot of money. Or people like this lady over here. What are the Jenners? It's crazy. People are following today dysfunctional families. It's crazy. Right? When sa una, mo niya tong ginawan. Remember those days?
Yes.
No? It was fun.
Yes.
Right? Nadatog ko ng Spartan. Okay? Now, I would like you guys to watch this video, short video lang, to tell you the dangers of social media and technology. Let's watch this.
Nature Valley created an eye-opening video by asking 3 generations of people in different families one very simple question.
When you were a kid, what did you do for fun?
So we go blueberry picking, for instance.
We grew watermelons, plantains.
I found an old sign which was big enough for me to sit on, made a great toboggan. It was very slick, very fast.
Not surprisingly, the older generations spoke about playing outside and creating their own games.
You know, you go door to door, get a group of kids, and you're just going out to the field and playing baseball.
And we built these massive forts, you know, the kind that you can actually sit in and play in, you know, with our friends. And it was just really wonderful.
The kids' description of fun activities were eye-opening.
Video games. I like to go on my phone, text, send email.
My favorite thing to do in the world is definitely watching videos and playing video.
A person told me a flat screen TV. I said, that's an appliance, that's not furniture. In my house, for example, we do not allow cell phones on our tables. The reason why we don't is because when we carry a cell phone with us on our tables, we are sending a subliminal message to our children that our phones are far more important than them. I'll be honest with you. I will never give a cell phone to my son. Not soon, not anytime, until I know that he is responsible and ready. We're all guilty of that. Because the truth is, aron mahilo mang imong anak, tagaan mo sa iPad as a digital pacifier. And you have no idea how destructive that is to their brain and to their eyes too. As a matter of fact, if you are a parent and you're planning to give your son or daughter in high school a cell phone for graduation, you need to have a contract with them. You need to have an agreement with them that, okay, since mommy and daddy are buying this cell phone for you, you are responsible for this, to take good care of it. But you also have to allow mom and dad to have access to your phone anytime, anywhere, because we're accountable to you. Do not give them the free hand to use their phones all the time, because I tell you what, they will replace you with a device. And by the way, you do not have a right to tell them to stop using their phones if they catch you always making kip kip on your phone. Did I offend you? Are we friends? That's them. They're multitaskers. It's the only generation in the world, ladies and gentlemen, that can actually receive a text, look at the laptop, wait for a Viber message, wait for projects, and do all these things at the same time, streamline and download a video, all at the same time. Young people today are multitaskers just like their moms. I tell you what, women or moms are the most amazing multitaskers in the world. I'll prove to you a point. Hold on. Let me prove a point. They're the only species in the human race who can actually line up in an ATM machine, carry a baby, withdraw money, apply lipstick at the same time, and answer the phone. Di, asa man ka di? Naran ako tanan. It's amazing. Now watch this. Look at this kid. Look at young people today. I want you to observe his behavior.
It was iPad.
What?
Because I went to say before they deleted that.
Alright, you can have it.
He knows the password. Watch what the father does.
Joking.
Behavioral scientists are saying, ladies and gentlemen, that today, when a child is overly addicted to the usage of a gadget, they become very anxious and very stressed. They have anxiety attacks as early as 7 years old. Whose fault is it? You can't blame Apple. Why? Because the jurisdiction in your family solely depends on you. Yes or yes? Yes. Please look at your spouse, your husband right now. Come on, look at him. Stare him in the eye. Stare her in the eye. Tell the person beside you, don't blame me. All right? Now, if you have kids, if you have toddlers, watch. Here's another one.
America This Morning, America's #1 early morning news.
Parents considering giving their toddlers too much too soon in the way of gadgets might want to rethink that strategy.
This is what happens when mom and dad take away an iPad from 2-year-old Ashlyn Brooks.
Poor baby, like it's the end of the world.
It's like the end of the world for them. Imagine, they can pronounce iPad first before mama and papa. Please don't laugh. This is serious. I'm not here to condemn anyone. In our family, I almost had an argument with my in-laws because of this. Because sometimes we have to leave our sons to Lola and Lola. But they're 6 and 4. Lola and Lola 64 and 62. They can't catch up with the kids sometimes. So what do? Aron mahunong sila, they offer their phone. I'm just grateful to God. Na ako mga anak, dili sila mga, they don't crave for that. You know, I have parents come up to me and tell me, Adrian, dugahin mo tubag sa imong phone, uy. Dugay ka reply. I apologize. Because when I'm with my sons, I do not want to use my phone. If I use my phone with my sons, it's in our car. And what we do is we play YouTube videos of praise and worship songs because we want to activate their creativity and their musicality and nothing more. And some people will tell me, Adrian, si bata si mong anak no? Grabe ka hyper. I said, I agree. I do not disagree with you. And for a while I get discouraged because of the insult of that parent. But when I'm driving alone in my car, God reveals to me, would you rather have sons who are addicted to a gadget, or would you rather have sons who are happy and energetic?
True.
I chose the second one. I don't care if my sons will break glasses. That's replaceable. But when my sons are addicted to a technology or a gadget, that is hard to pull away from them. I'm so glad, only by the grace of God, that I got this information while they're still young. And the good news is it's not too late. We can still do something about it. We have to take it seriously. And so here's what happened in the World Health Organization. According to them, the ICD, International Classification of Diseases, has already categorized what we call a gaming disorder. Now I told you, Academy for Extraordinary Teens. And I have about maybe 6 or 7 students who are highly addicted to gaming. Here's their behavior in class. Watch.